Okay, Lee, you the king of hot takes. I've had a hot take cooking in my head for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Let's go.
I've been scared to say it out loud. I've been scared to say it out loud.
Let
But
Jesus take the wheel, brother.
huh?
Let Jesus take the wheel. Drop that hot
I'm
take.
still scared to say it. I'm still scared to say it. I feel like by the time I say it, it might not be a hot take anymore though. And then I'm like, damn.
Got to hear it,
Still
man.
scared to say it. But
Drop. It's a safe space.
it's a safe space. All right. You know how when people talk about Knicks versus Cavs and they go, yo, well, I expect the Cavs to win because the Donovan Mitchell, he's the best player in the series. Every time somebody says that in my mind, I go, I'm not exactly sure if that's true this year. Like, I know he has better numbers, and I know he's more explosive, and I know he's more athletic. But when it comes to winning time, crunch time, ISO stats, slowing the game down and playing different speeds, to me, when I look at Brunson's game versus Mitchell's game, even Mitchell's game is more explosive. I trust Brunson over Mitchell because look at today, for example. We were able to trap Brunson, trap Mitchell, get the ball out of his hands, swing, swing, swing. Somebody has to beat us. And I feel like for Donovan Mitchell to be effective, he has to play fast. He has to hit fast. He has to shoot the three. He has to go downhill, beat people with his speed. I feel like Brunson's game is that type of game that is a old man long-term game, but is a game that's more suited for winning and slowing down and picking you apart. I feel like, listen, we already seen Jalen Brunson destroyed my Donovan Mitchell last season in the playoffs. If it happens again this season, that conversation might have to change in a year or maybe even this season. I might be early on it right now.
I'm with you, Jay.
But especially when you compare clutch numbers. Clutch numbers, when it's game time, Jalen Brunson, fourth in clutch numbers in the NBA. I feel like Jalen Brunson might have the edge over Donovan Mitchell. No, I do feel like, let me say it in my chest, I feel like Jalen Brunson has the edge over Donovan Mitchell one-on-one. It's just that Donovan Mitchell is more explosive.
Mm-hmm.
And he's more eye-catching. But when it comes down to slowing down the game, Jalen Brunson is more effective.
Yep.
I said it.
I think he's a better player.
Yeah, and I'll say this because the reason why the reason why a lot of analysts pick the Cavaliers over the Knicks is only because Donovan Mitchell is the best player. But I think that's a flawed argument because there's been many instances where a team in the playoffs has the best player, but they lose in that series. I mean, you can like take it back to, just one example, Pistons and Lakers in the finals. Lakers by far had the best player in Kobe Bryant, but yet the Pistons were able to overcome that. What about the recent years where LeBron and the Cavaliers faced the Warriors in the finals? LeBron was the undisputed best player in the NBA, but the Warriors were still able to beat him, except for that one time when the Cavaliers were able to overcome them for that one title. You could argue that Draymond Green being suspended was the reason why the Cavaliers were able to come back in that series. So I think that's always the easy argument to make. Okay, this team has the best player in the series, so therefore they should win the series. But all the time, I don't think it depends on the best player. It depends on the best team. Because sometimes if you have the better team, you're able to overcome the best player, especially, in series. So I think when people say that's a flawed argument, it's an easy argument to make when you don't analyze both teams going up against each other.
And that reminds me of a take I made earlier that all three of us agreed on, two of them. Jalen Brunson's the best free agent signing since I went to Houston, and I think he'll end up being better. And Josh Hart was the second best pickup of a deadline. after Kevin Durant. That's straight facts. We don't win this game without Josh Hart. Josh Hart on offense, on defense, offensive rebounding, steals, unbelievable clutch shots. That clutch three that he hit on Seti Osman, that kept the momentum in the Knicks' favor. I mean, those are two incredible pickups. Really, Leon Rose deserves executive of the year for those two, and Isaiah Hartenstein, who's probably the fourth best player in tonight's game. This was a hell of a season for us in the front office and establishing additional players to add on to the core. Man, and we got assets for this summer. Bro, the future is bright. Unbelievably bright for the Knicks.
Yeah. We talked about X factors last game, and I feel like Josh Hart was like 8th on the list in that on X factors talk, but maybe he should have been a little bit higher. I was worried about when the game is on the line. If you take the ball out of Jalen Brunson's hands, what's going to happen? Josh Hart happened.